Alright? We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this wicked society and the upliftment of the children of God, man. The blessed children of YAHAWAH, man. Which consists of Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and their descendants that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Alright, we're going to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. That's the Most High in the name of his son that they ignorantly call Jesus, alright? We're going to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of YAHAWAH, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim for preaching this word and believing this word in all truth and in sincerity. Alright, let's get Matthew 5, around the 10th verse. Because many people know the truth, but very few people will stand up for it, man. And that's the time that we're coming into, man. A lot of people are going to start to challenge this truth and demonize this truth, but it doesn't change the truth, man. You got it.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, but theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So we're about to be persecuted for righteousness' sake, man. I'm pretty sure all of YAHAWAH that know that they're YAHAWAH have heard about the news about the nation of YAHAWAH, the priests, the prophets out there being demonized, man. And that's it's more to come, man. Because the truth is starting to spring forth, man. The Lord is starting to require the judgment for what's been done in this place, man. And people going to demonize the truth to deflect from the actual truth being spoken, man. But the Lord said, blessed are you when you are persecuted, man. You got it, brother.
Verse 11. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and prosecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
And that's what's going to happen, man. You're going to have brothers being persecuted. You're going to have this truth being demonized, man. But we're going to stand up for the nation of YAHAWAH, whether these people like it or not, man. Even whether our people like it or not, man. 2/3 of our people reject this message, man. And as the truth is persecuted, they're going to separate themselves more and more from the elect, man. You got it, huh?
Verse 12. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they, the prophets, which were before you.
They persecuted the prophets, man. People, you got $1 billion, almost $1 trillion industry called the Christian church right now. But when the so-called, the actual Christians were on the earth, they were persecuted, man. They weren't loved, man. They didn't have a collection plate collecting $500,000 a month in tithes, man. They were poor, man. And they were persecuted. And likewise, the prophets are going to be going through the same thing in the last days, man. And few men of the nation of YAHAWAH are going to have the courage and the gall to actually stand up for the heritage, man. Many people know the truth, but very few are willing to stand up for it, man. That's why the majority of these people, they walk about, they live their life, and they pretend like it's not hell going on around the earth, man. Because they refuse to stand up for the truth, man. You got it, right?
Verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt have lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted?
What's up, bro? I know you from out here, dog.
I don't think so.
Nah. What y'all got going on, though, bro?
We telling our people who they are according to the Bible.
Y'all's people as far as black folks or everybody?
Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
All that.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all embrace all that diversity.
Right. We're embracing the people who's lost their heritage.
All right. Well, I'm out here trying to do a great work, bro, for the Lord, bro.
All right.
So you already know what time it is, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, bro. Y'all got a calling, dog.
Right,
God bless y'all, man. That's encouragement to y'all, bro, from the Lord, bro.
All right. But like we said before, man, many people know the truth, man, but very few are willing to stand up for it, man. And as these persecutions begin to widen and spread, man, more persecution is going to happen to the righteous men of the Lord, man. The hopeful elect, man. Not righteous of our own works, but righteous because we're carrying the words of Yahawashi, man. And it must be preached, man. You got Israelites that are saying that you shouldn't be out there on the highways and hedges telling the world what's going to happen, man. And that's a faithless creature, man. Because this word must be preached, man. That's how you woke up. You got it, out.
Verse 13. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt hath lost its savior, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men.
And that's what 2/3 of our people are, man. They're not good for anything right now, man, because they're not assuming their responsibility, man, as priests of the earth, man. That's why the elect shall be saved, man, and 2/3 therein shall be cut off, man. And they'll have to come back through reincarnation, man, because 2/3 of our people refuse to assume their responsibility, man. You are a representation of God on earth, man. And if you don't assume that responsibility, then you are meat for nothing, meaning you are good for nothing, man. That's why the Lord is going to chop down our people, man. And the ones that our people look up to, like Future, like Jay-Z, like Drake. They look up to all of these people, these folly demons, man. And they don't really counsel our people in righteousness. They don't lead our people to be productive, man. They destroy our people and make millions off of it, man. And now the word, the actual truth of the Lord is coming back and having mercy on our people, and our people are rejecting it, man. We expect the heathens to reject it, man. We expect Esau to slander us in the news, man. We expect that, man. That's what he's built. That's what he's built to do, man. He's designed to work that way, man.
You got it. Now going into Matthew, it say you shall be prosecuted, man, for righteousness' sake.
Come on, persecuted.
So this is your persecuted. So like,
now you good, huh?
This is Psalms chapter 116, verse 15. Precious in the sight of the Lord, YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, is the death of his saints.
Exactly, man. Because this testimony of truth is going to be persecuted even unto death, man. Just like the words of the Lord were persecuted unto death, man. The Lord was blameless, man. They had to bring up false accusations against the Lord to get him put to death, man. Because he was blameless. The only thing he was guilty of was preaching the words of the Lord, man. And that's likewise going to happen here, man. Brothers standing up for the truth are going to be condemned, man. We expect the so-called white man to do that because that's what he's designed to do, man. To cover up what he's done on the earth and to persecute anybody who comes up against him, man. That's what he's designed to do, man. So as the world continues to hear about this word, man, the men of the Lord are going to be persecuted, but the Lord is going to stand up for them and fight for them, man.
You got it, huh? Back in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and giveth light unto all that are in the house.
Exactly. So you're not supposed to have this truth and just be at the crib chilling, being an Israelite at the crib, man. Because the Lord said this light's supposed to shine on the hill because the majority of your people don't know who they are, man. And that's for these Israelites that's saying that brothers shouldn't be out there on the highways and hedges, man. Now we admit certain times brothers get out in their feelings, so to speak, and say some things, man. But at the end of the day, this truth must be preached, man. And if you're not out here preaching, you have no right to tell a brother how he should teach.
You got it up. Verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
And ever since the days of old, the Lord brought out prophets to prophesy the downfall of kingdoms, man. And this is the same thing, man. This kingdom isn't special, and you're going to find that out, man. Economic collapse, wars, rumors of wars, sedition amongst men, which means men going against their government, civil wars. All of these things are prophesied in the scriptures, man. And it's because this place has been set and established on wickedness, man. You don't get to commit all acts of genocide and murder and robbery and just walk off in the sunset, man. It does not work like that, man.
You got it up. Matthew 24, verse 9. Then it say, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
So the men of the Lord are going to be hated for this word, man. The men of the Lord are going to be persecuted and hated for the standing up for righteousness, man. For speaking this truth, man. They're going to be hated because they hated the Lord when he was on earth, man. John, the 3rd chapter tells you that this is the condemnation. That light has come into the world and men love darkness rather than light, man. And that's the time that we're living in, man. But this testimony of truth, you can do nothing against the truth but for the truth, man. It does not change the will of YAHAWASHI, man. So what if men do not believe, man?
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5 verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors.
Exactly, man, because you got people who are comparing the Hebrew Israelites to the Ku Klux Klan. And the Hebrew Israelites ain't lynch nobody, man. They ain't drag nobody out of their house in the middle of the night and kill them. Burying people, man. Putting people to death. The Israelites are speaking the truth, man. To compare them to a group that actually killed people and actually put people to death shows you that this is the truth. You got a question, brother?
No, this is awesome.
True. This is according to prophecy, man. The Lord said that as he takes down the kingdom, another kingdom is going to rise up, man.
Seminole, and I got a couple of these.
Well, what is your father?
Aruba.
Reuben?
Aruba.
Aruba?
Aruba.
Where?
Black. Aruba, the island Aruba. You don't know Aruba?
Where's that at?
It's near Jamaica. And
Yeah, so that may end up being a Benjamite, because
West Indies, yeah.
Because when our people, a lot of people don't know, before our people came from Africa, they came from Portugal, and they were taking our people all across these islands, setting them in those islands, as well as bringing them to South America and then upwards to the Americas.
You know, I came here to find my heritage, you know, because well, I'm getting chills like a motherfucker.
This is it, brother. This is what you've been looking for, and this is what.
I already got put. I beat the police. I got 4 felonies for fucking Leos.
You know why?
Because they fucking called me a fucking boy, and I said, "Are you bitch nigger the white one?"
Yeah. You know why, brother? Because their nation is set against our nation. When you read in the scriptures, Jacob, which is who we come from, we all descend. Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we all descend from Jacob. The so-called white man descends from Esau. Now, when you read in Genesis, Esau and Jacob were against each other. Yeah.
Fucking redhead, the one that sold his birthright.
Exactly. And and the Lord said that they would have this hatred for us forever.
Because we
have the birthright.
Birthright and the blessing.
Because the kingdom of heaven belongs to our people.
Man, I get chills like a motherfucker.
And this is what you've been looking for, brother.
Because you know what, my mother is Irish, German, Native American. So Seminole, I think.
Okay.
Proven, but
Seminole.
I got my daughter. It was a strawberry blonde, you know. So I'm a mix.
So let me say this, brother.
My mama gave me a book that had a picture of Jesus in it. He's all like this, all faggoty.
Yep.
And then a picture of Satan. He looked like me. And I'm like, that's me. And so when I was 2, she's selling Avon, right? We were in the trailer park, and some lady came through. She put her kid in the sandbox with me. This snot-nosed bitch was in the white fucking.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, I'm kneeling on his shoulders, had his mouth packed full of sand, killing him. And she come out and she scooped the sand out, had to do mouth to mouth, almost fucking killed this kid.
Let's get Genesis then,
I'm sorry.
No, you good, brother. You good.
And she says, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Matar," which means to kill, which is was a little Bible book. Because I thought I was saved. And I always liked Cain, fuck Abel.
Genesis, 2 manner of people. Because that war and that strife.
I've killed 200 to 300 fucking child molesters.
Hey, well, you know what, brother?
That's a good thing.
You know what, brother? We're going to tell you first that this is not skin color oriented. It's according to the seed of your father. Because, like you said, your daughter's a strawberry blonde. Exactly. So that would make your daughter an Israelite regardless of how she appears to be.
She looked just like me, only she green-eyed and beautiful gold.
It's called confused faces and Daniel.
Every brother recognized that she's my daughter. And white people think I'm with a little white girl being
brother.
A dirty bitch.
Yeah, brother.
And that's what started this shit with the cops. At 12 o'clock, I bought her pizza, and they said, there's a curfew. I said, this is my daughter, bitch. And we went it out for 4 hours. And that did not make friends with me with these little bitch fucking opies.
Right. Well, you know what, brother? We're gonna get that situation you had in the sandbox. We're gonna get where it started.
This is Genesis chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord Yahawah for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So they were already fighting in the womb.
Chills.
They were already
Who
fighting.
was it that was fighting? Esau and
Jacob
Jacob.
and Esau. Before they were
Rebecca.
even born, they were fighting in the womb.
And say it again, the stronger should.
Yeah, let's read it again.
All the way down.
Let's read it again.
Verse, Genesis 25, verse 23. The Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger.
So if you know,
the elder is Esau.
Exactly. So this was before they were even born, because a lot of people like to say that Jacob stole the birthright, but the Lord had already told Rebecca that the younger was going to serve, the elder was going to serve the younger.
Right now, I'll tell you what. I always joke. I say I'm half black, half cracked, and I say the N-word just because I think we need to fucking stop holding ourselves down because some bitch called us some shit. But I'll tell you what.
All right, brother. Shalom.
There is not even the Puerto Ricans are stronger than the African Americans. I'm a fighter. I've been a fighter my whole life. My father, who is black, I'm pretty sure molested me. So I started off not really liking my culture.
Okay.
And he also beat the shit out of me and my mother. You know how we feel about mom.
Right.
So at 9, I got my butt knife out. I told my mom when she came home from the hospital. She says, "Oh, Daddy's gonna go. Mom's gonna go. He's gonna fucking get baptized and talk to the pastor." I knew that in church.
Right.
So I got my mad. I said, "I'm gonna stab her in the throat." She says, "No, you can't be strong. You can't catch me." I said, "I know when he sleeps. I know what his sounds sound like when he sleeps. He snores." And that was the last time me and my mom ever got beat. And I fought over 100,000 street fights. And I hurt people. I don't fight no more because I don't like to hurt people.
Yeah, right.
But I will kill a fucking monster from as a child.
Yeah.
And I can look at somebody's eye and I know who the fuck they are. You guys are men.
Right.
You know what? I'm gonna walk on, but I want to come back.
Brother, please come back.
Shake, how do we do?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah,
God bless you.
God bless you too, brother.
Please come back.
Yeah.
No, thank you, man.
It's spirit.
See, my father has hands like that, small, strong as fuck.
This is the spiritual.
I watched him knock a 6 foot. So I was riding a motorcycle on the back streets. We were in a white neighborhood in Cali, and this guy's like, "Get that little nigger off my property." My dad went over there and said, "I'm sorry, sir. We went right over there again." The guy just kept on, step up, step up, step up. I've never seen a left right like that.
Yeah.
That guy's jaw was off.
Yeah.
My dad was 135,
Woo.
5'6". And I asked him one time, I said, because he came out of the shower before he put a towel. I'm like,
Yeah.
I know
people
you're
blessed.
a boy, mama's a girl, what the fuck am I? Anyway,
Blessed.
I'm normal, but he was
right.
like 5'6" with a dick down to his fucking knee.
Bless me.
And strong as fuck. And smart, he speaks 7 languages.
Ah.
He's over 30 mil, but we don't speak because of you already know.
Let's get Isaiah 60 and 2. Because this truth is what this truth is about, man. This truth is about waking up and comforting our people, man. This truth is not about these other nations, man. This is about our nation rising up, man. It's about bringing. That's why the Lord said, we're bringing comfort to those that mourn, man, and freeing the captives, man. How we doing that begins spiritually, man. Our people are out here broken, man, with no answers, man. And that's why it's necessary for us to be out here on the highways and hedges, man, because our brothers and sisters that are slated to make it, they need to hear this word, man. You got it, brother.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord Yahawah, by Hashem Yahawashi, shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
And that's what you see, man. When you have people coming up, like the brother came up and said that he could tell that it was something special about what's being done right now, man. And it's the word of the Lord, man. The glory of the Lord is being seen on his prophets, man. And that's the time that we're living in, and that's who we're doing it for, man. And always be conscious of that, man. That it's not about Esau and the other nations, man. Their judgment is already locked, sealed, and stopped, man. It's about our nation waking up and coming back to their heritage, so that they can have comfort. What did Yahawashi say? He said, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall do what, man? It shall set you free, man." Our people have many burdens that are on their spirit, man, mentally, man. because they've grown up in elementary schools and schools that have taught them that their history begins at slavery, man. And they take that burden and that low self-esteem and they just carry it out through their whole adult life, man. Destroy, man. And the Lord said He's going to bring His truth and His light to comfort His people, man. That's what's happening. You got it out.
This is Isaiah 51, verse 22. Thus saith the Lord, and thy power that plead the cause of His people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling,
right?
Even the dregs of the cup of my fury.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thou shalt no more drink it again, but I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
And can you not see that that's what's happening right now? That the cup of trembling is being taken away from the nation of Israel. That's why they're rising up on their feet and standing in great boldness. And the cup of trembling is being handed to the Esau and the other nations, which is why they're demonizing this truth. Prophecy, we're in a time of prophecy, man. That's why Matthew 13 chapter said, blessed are those that hear this word, or the eyes that see this, you know, the ears that hear it, man. Because many righteous men and prophets desired to see that day and did not see it. You got it up.
All right. This is Lamentation chapter 4, verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shall make thyself naked.
And that's what you have, man. You have the idea of Esau has this idea and this inclination that this is true, man. Otherwise, he completely ignored, man. But because he knows that there's some truth inside of it, and he's been walking around the earth as if he was going to get away with murder forever, now he's finding out that that's not the case, man. And now he doesn't want to enjoy himself no more, man. Now he's going to come down having great wrath. Why? Because he knows that he has a short time. By seeing the prophets out on the highways and hedges, that's proof in the pudding that we're in the time of the end, man. The Lord didn't send Moses, and 500 years later, Egypt was destroyed. The moment the Lord sent Moses, plagues started happening, man. Just like in the days of old, man. That's why the Lord said, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, the so-called white man, and enjoy yourself. Because there's a price to be paid, and you're going to pay it. And you can demonize this truth all you want, but it does not change the truth. It does not change the will of YAHAWASHI, man. You got it, bro.
Lamentation 4:22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
Right.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin.
And that's what the Lord is about to do, man. He's about to visit the iniquity of these so-called white people and all the other nations, man. And that's according to what they've done, man. We say this all the time. If you murder somebody and you go in the courthouse and say you're sorry, you don't get away with that. You don't get to walk away free because you felt bad. You still have to pay for it, man. And we're simply coming out here on the highways and hedges and telling the other nations that you have to pay for what's been done, man. The Lord said, he that toucheth you toucheth the apple of my eye, man. If the Lord was willing to judge the people that he loved, do you not think he's going to judge these other nations, man? And of course they're not going to want to hear that, man, because it's the truth, man. Of course they're going to be offended, because this word is not meant to include everybody. It's not meant to make everybody feel good, man. When the prophets were on the earth, they didn't make the whole world feel good. Otherwise, they wouldn't be getting put to death, man. You got it, brother.
Zechariah chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty.
And they hate to hear that they're guilty, man. That's what it really boils down to, man. Because they can take little clips of what brother's saying and try to expand it and maximize that as the whole doctrine. But if you actually talk to a Hebrew Israelite, you find out that this is all logical and reason, man. This is all spiritual, and it's all in the scriptures, man. The Bible y'all swear on, man. And our people resist it, and these other nations are going to resist it, man. But only the elect, the light is going to shine on the elect, man. And they're going to have ears to hear this, man. You got it, brother.
Zechariah 11 and 5 again. Whose possessors slay them,
right,
and hold themselves not guilty, and they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Because they profited from this, man. They built a whole society on the backs of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. If you look at the wealth gap between Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in these other nations, if you look at that wealth gap, you'll see that our nation will never catch up, man. Even if our nation changed their ways right now. So much has already been profited off of the destruction of our nation, including redlining, man. For those who don't know what redlining is, that's when property had higher value when it wasn't in the hood, man. And they wouldn't sell to Negroes in a certain area. So if you were in the hood, they tried to keep you isolated and keep you in that place, man. And now you got people that own these homes, and these homes are worth triple, double, sometimes 6 times worth more than what they initially bought it for, man. Our people are never going to be able to catch up because they've already been done so wrong already, man. And even if they got themselves together right now, they have no room to grow and catch up with the wealth gap, man. With that set aside, this place was built on the backs of you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. The first stocks and bonds were slaves, man. All of these banks, they started themselves off giving insurance for slaves, man. You got it, bro.
Isaiah chapter 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee,
right?
And all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, the Zion of the Holy One of Yasharallah.
And that shows you that Zion is a people before it's a place. Because they're not going to bow down to a city. They're bowing down to the nation of Yasharallah, man. And at this point, our people don't even want rulership. They just want a better captivity, man. But the Lord has more in store, man. Because what you sow, you reap. That happens in everyday life, and it's going to happen amongst nations, man. That's why it's the Most High God. He's the Most High Judge. And he's going to judge amongst these nations, and he's going to find out that the nation of Israel, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have been done wrong. And he's going to repay that. And that's the time that we're in now, man. What did the Lord do to Egypt? He brought plagues against Egypt. He didn't just destroy Egypt overnight. He gave them slow plagues. And then eventually he destroyed them, man. You got it, brother.
Isaiah 61, started at verse 1. The Spirit of the Lord Yahawah power is upon me, because the Lord Yahawah have anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and to open the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
And our people are bound, man. Whether it be physically or spiritually, our people are bound, man. And this word is meant to bring comfort unto them, man. But 2/3 of our people will reject this message, man, because they don't have enough fight in them to stand up for anything as it is, man. Like we said before, they only want a better captivity. They don't want justice for what's been done to their people, man. Right. They're past that now. They just want a better captivity. You got more on that?
Yeah. Isaiah 61 verse 2. To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahawah, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn.
Exactly, and the Lord's bringing a day of vengeance, man. And that's supposed to bring comfort to our people. To know that this is not how it's going to be forever, man. To know that eventually the Lord is going to call to mind the iniquity that's been done in this place and judge it, man. And there's going to be a reward for the righteous, man. But all of that requires faith, which is a gift from Yahawashi. Every man don't have that, man. Every man is not blessed with faith and the spirit to stand up for what they believe in, man. You got it, Doc.
To appoint unto them the morn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness. And that lets you know that the Lord calls men trees, man.
Yeah, so when Adam was hiding himself amongst the trees, man, he was hiding himself amongst other men, other nations, man. Even though that's meat, that's a precept that shows you that the Lord looks at men as trees, man. And the Lord requires our nation to be righteous trees, man. If you're gonna be a tree, what did Yahawashi do to that tree that didn't bring forth fruit? Cast it into the fire, man. Hew it down, cast it into the fire. Because you're meant to be a tree of righteousness, man. And if you're not gonna be that, then the Lord's gonna remove your candle, man. You got it, brother.
That they may be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, that he may be glorified. And they shall build the old waste, they shall raise up the former desolation, and they shall repair the waste cities. He's talking about Esau, Edom, and all the other heathen nations. the desolation of many generations, and strangers shall stand and feed your flocks, and the sons of aliens shall be your plowmen and your vine dressers.
Exactly, because we were the plowmen and vine dressers for these people. So the righteous judgment is that it's going to be done unto them, man. When you sit in the court system and somebody murders somebody or somebody steals, they can apologize for it, but it does not change the will that you have to go through that and you have to be judged for that, man. If somebody committed a murder, they can't walk in the court and say, Judge, I'm sorry, I felt bad, I feel bad about it, and you get to just walk off into the sunset. No, you can feel sorry on your way to jail. That's what the Lord is saying now, man. What's been done to the nation of Israel is going to be done unto other nations, man. Simple and plain, man. It don't take a rocket science to get that, man. And these people understand that. These people know that, man. They just resist that because they've been living in a fairy tale for so long that they don't want to wake up. You got it, brother.
Verse 6, but ye shall be named the priests of the Lord YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI. Men shall call you the ministers of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentile.
And that minister goes into service, man. Because what did it say in Romans the 9th chapter, man? To the Israelites, to whom pertaineth what? The adoption, the glory, the promises, and the service of the Most High, man. That don't belong to another nation, man. You can believe on the Lord all you want, man, but you're going to serve in the kingdom, man. And the nation of Israel is going to be the servants of the Lord, man. You got it, brother.
Read this again, Isaiah 61, verse 6. But ye shall be named the priests of the Lord YAHAWAH. Men shall call you the minister of our power. Ye shall eat the riches of the Gentiles, and in the glory shall ye boast yourselves.
So we're going to boast ourselves in the substance of these other nations, man. Just like they bring tribute to Esau, wherever he's planted at, whether it be in Europe or whether it be over here in the Americas, other nations bow down and submit themselves unto the will of the so-called white man. In the kingdom, the Lord's people are going to be the ones that all these other nations submit to, man. There's always going to be a ruler in the kingdom of men. The Lord's will is just to have his people be the rulers forevermore, man. As joint heirs with the one they ignorantly call Jesus, man. This ain't rocket science, man. This ain't fringe. This ain't some wayward doctrine, man. This makes perfect sense if you have a spirit of understanding. Justice must be rendered, man. Here it is, a man can't kill somebody without a consequence, but a whole nation can destroy another nation without consequence? Come on, man. Let's get real. You got it, brother.
Verse 7, for your shame ye shall have double,
right,
and for confusion they shall rejoice in their portion. Therefore in their land they shall possess the double, everlasting joy shall be unto them.
Exactly, man. And it takes a special spirit of YAHAWASHI for a man to stand up for this, man. That's why those men are going to have reverence in the kingdom, man. Not of their own works, but because the Lord put the spirit on them. They actually stand up for the truth, for their nation, man. Not just on social media, not just at the crib, man. For you stay-at-home Israelites, man. You're supposed to be a light unto the world if you understand this, man. Because very few men have this light. You have an obligation to push this out and live it, man. So proud devils will know that their judgment is up, man. That time is up, man. Being looked at as the hunk of the earth is over with, man. And they got to know that. And the only way they can know that is if you out here preaching this word in great boldness, man. You got it, brother.
Verse 8, Isaiah 61 and 8. For I, the Lord YAHAWAH, Bahashem YAHAWASHI, love judgment. I hate robbery for burnt offerings, and I will direct their work in truth, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, and their seed shall be known among the Gentiles,
right,
and their offspring among the people.
But everybody gonna be saved, right? Everybody's entitled to the same kingdom. But the Lord just basically told you that the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is gonna be known among the Gentiles, man. You gonna know them, man. If everybody's joined in as one nation of people now, and it's all on whether you believe or not, why would the Lord say the seed, man? Why wouldn't he say the believers, man? Come on, man. For you simpletons out there, man. You got it, brother.
Isaiah 61 and 9. And their seed shall be known among the Gentiles,
right,
and their offspring among the people. All that see them shall acknowledge them, that they are the seed which the Lord YAHAWAH, Bahashem YAHAWASHI, have blessed.
Exactly, man. And that's going to come at the end of this eon, the end of this age. And that's where we're at now, man. That's why you have blood moons and economic collapse and World War III on the cusp. Because this is a transition of power, man. What you are witnessing is the Lord transitioning a kingdom from one hand to another, man. And it just so happens this is the last time wickedness is going to reign on the earth, man. So yeah, the Lord is going to show up with amazing signs and wonders and effects, man. You got it, brother.
Isaiah 66 verse 5. Hear the word of the Lord, Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, ye that tremble at his word.
Right.
Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let the Lord Yahweh be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
Exactly. For all our people that hear this message and reject it.
God.
And try to separate themselves from this truth and join themselves amongst the heathens.
God.
Because it's going to be plenty of conversations about Israelites going on in Negroes, amongst Negroes at workplaces. And a lot of them conversations going to go with Negroes distancing themselves from the men of the Lord, man. But in that day when the Lord appears, it's going to be to their shame, man. Because they ain't have enough heart to stand up for their nation, man. The Lord ain't asking you for a whole lot. He asking you to stand up for righteousness, man. Right. If you can't do that, how weak are you really? You got it, brother.
Verse 6. A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice from the Lord Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, that rendereth recompense to his enemies.
Exactly, and the Lord is all about rendering recompense, man. He's all about paying back what's been done out here, man. He did that to our nation, man. Our nation went through the cup of trembling. Our nation was subjects. So the other nations are going to be subjects, man. It's simple, man. It's simple. This idea of the so-called white man reigning forever is over with, man. No other nation reigns forever, man.
Going to what you were just saying. This is Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 1. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thy findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Yasharahla. So I opened my mouth, and he caused me to eat that roll. And he said unto me, son of man, cause thy belly to eat.
All right, we at the corner of Magnolia Central, so just look that up on the map and make your way this way. We're doing the lesson now. All right, come on.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 1, going to what you were just saying. Moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thy findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Yasharahla.
And that's your duty, man. That's your reasonable service, man. The Lord died. He did all of the heavy lifting, man. All you got to do is gather the children of Israel to the best of your ability, according to your measure, man. The Lord ain't asking you for a lot, man. But even that is too much for our people, man. Because they love being in this place. They love being captives, man. They love being homeborn slaves because they don't think that they can actually be responsible for nations. They don't think that they actually they are competent enough to judge amongst nations, man. Come on, man. The Lord told us to eat this roll and come out here and preach this word. And if these people don't believe, it don't matter, man. If the Lord's word is gonna is not gonna come back to him void, man. It's gonna happen whether these people enjoy it or not, man. Whether they receive it or not, man. And this is the will of Yahawah Shem Yahushua, man. And this is comfort to our people, man. But it's a shame to our other nations, man. It's a shame to the heathens, man. Because the Lord ain't inclusive, man. He's exclusive, man. He made all these nations diverse in different ways, and he appointed one nation as his servants, man. And now we're at the end of an age. We're at the end of eon, man. A time period in humanity where wickedness has reigned and ruled, man. And we're at the end of it, man. You got it, brother.
It's Romans chapter 12, verse 1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahawah YAHAWASHI, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto Yahawah by Hashem Yahushua, which is your reasonable service.
It's a reasonable thing to stand up for your heritage, man.
God.
Really, it's the only thing you can do. And soon they're gonna take that away, man. And all you stay-at-home Israelites gonna be cut with regret, man. That you didn't stand up for your heritage when you had the option and the chance to, man. Because when that famine of the word started, you ain't gonna have the opportunity to go on YouTube and get some comfort.
God.
It's gonna be you and Yahawah Shem Yahushua, man. Just like it's gonna be for us, man.
God.
But you're gonna feel cut in your heart if you don't get out here and start standing up for your heritage, man. When the Lord cuts out the word and it's a famine of the word, and this word can't be preached by penalty of death, or incarceration, you're gonna regret that you didn't stand up, that you was at the crib wearing your flip-flops and your basketball shorts, talking about what you could have did or what you would have did if you was out here, man. You got it, brother.
This is 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23. It reads, being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of Yahawah YAHAWASHI, which liveth and abideth forever.
Exactly, man. This word liveth and abideth forever, man. If you have faith that the Lord's words are gonna come to pass, what is somebody at your job seeing you preach the word gonna matter, man? In the grand scheme of eternity, what does that really matter, man? If you really have faith that the Lord is gonna judge these other nations, why aren't you making that boldness manifest, man? Anybody can put on fringes and walk around, go to Walmart, man. It don't take no bravery to do that, man. But to actually come into your heritage, man, and to stand up for righteousness and proclaim what's wicked and what's right, to divide between the clean and the unclean, it takes the spirit of YAHAWASHI, man. It takes courage, man, which is a gift from YAHAWASHI, man. You got it, brother.
This 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5, and this is a precept that I was reading in Romans 12 and 1, about to send your body as a living sacrifice. So this 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahawah YAHAWASHI by Yahawashi HaMashiach.
So your reasonable service is acceptable in the sight of YAHAWASHI. So what do you care if it's not acceptable to man? If the Lord said this is your reasonable sacrifice, this is pleasing to him, it said that the Lord is pleased by the foolishness of preaching, man. Should we not obey the Lord rather than men? Should we not please the Lord instead of men? Come on, bro.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 15, it reads, for so is the will of Yahawah YAHAWASHI, that with well-doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men.
Exactly, and that's why brothers have to be on the highways and hedges, to put an end to that ignorance, man. So these people have no cloak for their sins, man. You can't say, oh, you thought so-called Jesus was white. You can't say that no more, man, because it's already out here, man. You can't say, oh, I ain't know Esau was going into slavery, because it's already being proclaimed, man. You can't say you ain't know Esau was the wicked, because it's being proclaimed, man. And very few men have the courage to stand up for what they believe in. It don't matter how big you is, it's how much heart you got, man. You got it, brother.
This is Luke chapter 14, verse 15. Luke 14, verse